Luna, pregnant and elated, returned home to find her sister Aura's shoes at the door. Hearing moans from her bedroom, she froze. Joshua's cold voice mixed with Aura's purrs. She's been dreaming of your child. I beat her to it. Heartbroken, Luna fled into the storm. A truck slammed into her. Bleeding, she heard the driver call Mr. Lynch. Joshua had ordered her death. A kick sent her plunging off the bridge. I hate you, Joshua Lynch. 6 years later, Luna returned to Banyan City, icy and transformed, with twin children in tow. The boy Neil coolly assessed her friend Anne. Women who labor too hard won't marry. Luna Gibson was pregnant. She headed home happily with the test report in her hands, all while she pondered on how to break the news to her husband, Joshua Lynch, as a surprise. He had been overseas on a business trip for more than half a month, and he would finally return home tomorrow. The moment she entered her home, however, she noticed a pair of ladies' shoes that were not hers. She frowned. She recognized them. It was her sister's, Aura Gibson, and she just bought them not too long ago. Was she not on that business trip with Joshua? It was then she heard a woman's voice that resounded from upstairs. This voice. It was her sister, Aura's voice. Luna bit her lip as her body trembled inadvertently. Which other man could it be if it was not her husband? Instinctively, she raised her feet and walked upstairs. The closer she got, the louder the voices of the man and woman that drifted out of the bedroom. What are we going to do when she comes back later? Compared to Aura's soft feminine purr, Joshua's voice sounded particularly cold and deep. I don't care. She's been dreaming of having your child for a long time now, but I beat her to it. How do you plan to explain this to her? The man's voice remained cold and remote. I don't care. Luna's heart froze in her chest. A moment later, she retracted her hand that sat on the handle. She turned and left, not daring to face the situation in the room. Even if she opened the door, what good would it do her? It was a well-known fact that her husband did not love her. She was the one who insisted, who fought the whole world, to marry him. In their 2-year marriage, to give him a child. She visited every hospital in the city and experimented with all sorts of home remedies. When she was finally pregnant with his child, he slept with her half-sister, in their marriage bed. Adding insult to injury, Aura was pregnant too. Luna trudged out of the villa helplessly as tears cascaded soundlessly down her cheeks. She ignored the heavy downpour, and as she feebly walked, Aura and Joshua's voices interweaved and rang in her ears. No wonder Joshua wanted Aura to be his assistant. No wonder he insisted on bringing her along every time he went on a business trip. They had been together all this while. Fully dressed Aura stood by the window of the bedroom and studied her sister's distant figure. A cold smile hung on her lips. The man's voice that Luna heard was a product of Aura's clever editing. Joshua's voice was nothing but a mere recording. She knew Luna would not dare enter the room. My wife is Luna. Please, have some respect for yourself. I don't plan on getting a divorce in the next few years. Joshua's ruthless voice when he rejected her rang in her ears. With a cold scoff, Aura took out her phone and dialed a number. Luna had unknowingly walked in the pouring rain all the way to Bay Bridge, and there were barely any cars on the bridge as a result of the rainy weather. Out of nowhere, a cargo truck rushed in her direction as she, too immersed in her sadness, did not react in time. Slam! She flew into the air from the impact before she fell heavily onto the edge of the bridge. She felt as if all her organs had shifted in her body as thick, fresh blood dripped from the top of her head. And it dyed her vision in her dazed state. She saw someone get down from the truck and stretched out a hand to check her breathing. After confirming she survived, the man made a phone call. Mr. Lynch, she's still alive. Should I drive the car into her again? Luna's heart ached as if the truck had run over it and smashed it to smithereens. The driver was asking Mr. Lynch. She only knew of one Mr. Lynch her whole life, Joshua Lynch. The man she loved the most, to whom she dedicated her most beautiful years and all her love, Joshua Lynch. Did he try to get rid of her, just because she discovered his and Aura's secret affair? Was it because he wanted to give the child in Aura's belly a proper name and identity? The child in her belly was his too. Don't blame me. Blame yourself for falling in love with the wrong man. The driver ended the call before he kicked her ruthlessly with his shoe-clad foot. She was less than 2 meters away from the edge of the bridge. The driver was a strong, full-grown man, and he mercilessly kicked her broken body. In just a few tries, she was flung into the air. See you in our next lifetime. Luna fell off the bridge. The image of Joshua as he stood under the cherry blossom trees all those years ago came back clearly to her. He was the same boy, exceptionally handsome, warm and gentle. I hate you, Joshua Lynch. C-City. A tall, handsome man walked out of the meeting room, looking dignified but somewhat arrogant. His assistant next to him leaned forward in a panic. Sir, it's your wife. Something's wrong. The man frowned slightly, and his footsteps never paused. What trouble did she get herself into now? Madam, she was knocked into the sea by a truck, and her body hasn't been found. The man's pupils shrank immediately. Right at that moment, Joshua's phone rang. It was a call from the hospital. Mr. Lynch, your wife didn't want me to tell you about it, but I still think you need to be ready. Your wife is pregnant, and it's 3 months in. 6 years later, an international flight from Europe landed in Banyan City. Luna dragged her luggage behind her and passed security clearance. 6 years ago, she was Luna Gibson. After she survived the ordeal of an accident, she chose to go simply by Luna. The chestnut-colored hair fanned across her shoulders carelessly. She donned a bright red shirt and black trench coat over it, making her look cold and mysterious.